Welcome to WP Coffee Talk. Thank you to our sponsor, Helix Managed WordPress Hosting, for both their sponsorship and hosting our site, WPCoffeeTalk.com. Now on to our episode. Welcome to WP Coffee Talk. We're here again. I know we're here again with a great episode. I am very excited to meet Ferry today. Thank you for being on the show.
I'm so glad that you had me here. Yeah,
so I'm going to try to introduce your name. You taught me how to say your name.
Yes.
Let's see if I can get it right. And everybody, if it's not right, everybody can laugh, but you can correct me, okay? So I'm excited to introduce Ferry Dharawat.
Yes, that was right. That was right. That's how I say it. Yay,
I'm learning. And it's very interesting because it's 8:30 in the morning where I am in New York, and it is 6 o'clock where you are.
Yep, India.
In India. Yeah. So it's quite interesting to be able to talk to people all over the world, and that's what I love about doing this so much.
Yeah.
So tell us a little bit about who you are and what you do.
Okay, I'm a writer. I'm basically a writer. I have experience around 10 years, and I was like, oh my God, 10 years I've been a writer. So basically I lot of experience in different kinds of writing. You can say magazine writer. I was a journalist for a business magazine. I've written for websites and blogs, and through websites and blogs is how I actually got to know about WordCamps and WordPress. So even without knowing it, I was always a writer for a WordPress because WordPress is huge, right? So yeah, I'm basically a writer with experience in writing for ads and long form writing.
Very good. So you do a lot of content writing so that everybody understands, and your articles can be found and helping your customers, I'm sure.
Yeah, SEO friendly articles, yes, keywords and all those jazz. Yes, I did.
Perfect.
SEO related articles, like, okay, there's a lot of totally different talk needed for that. So yeah.
Absolutely. I know you could have a whole conference just on SEO for sure. So I always ask everybody to show me their mug. So let's see your mug. That's beautiful.
Yes.
Tell us about it.
It's so gothic. I like it. I like colors. I also like black and whites. And this is a perfect combination of it. It's black, it's white, and it's pretty. So
yeah, so pretty.
Yes.
So what are you drinking in your mug today?
Today I'm drinking tea. A very strong tea. I love coffee. I love coffee, but I just felt like having tea today, and it's very dark. And it's dark.
So it's very strong?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I'm using my Give mug today.
Okay.
So this is special to me because it's where I work all day as I work for Give. But what's really special about it is it holds a lot of coffee.
Yes. You all are caffeine addicted.
At 8:30 in the morning, I need my mug to have a lot of coffee. So today I have coffee with cream and sugar in my mug.
Nice. I don't differentiate between tea and coffee. I have them both. I'm like a caffeine addict is the best way to describe.
Me too. I also like tea, but so first thing in the morning, give me my coffee.
Yeah. Good.
So tell us how you got started with WordPress. So I know that you're not on the technical side, you're on the writing side. Yeah. So if I ask you technical questions, you can slap my hand.
No, I won't do that. I'm very polite and nice.
Okay. But tell us how you got started with WordPress.
So I started working as a business journalist, which meant that I would cover stories, and I had nothing to do with any digital writing. So digital writing and normal traditional. But I was working in a traditional publishing industry, and they were so different. But then, after 2010 and 11, everything went digital. So that's when I was hired as a blogger. And the first blog it wasn't a really huge transition, but then I was like, we never got this training that you have to write in a certain way when it came to SEO. Okay, so they were suddenly asking that you need to write SEO related articles. I'm like, what does that mean? Because I came from a traditional publishing background, and then I did a little bit of search. That's when I found, okay, it's basically writing user friendly articles. That's it. It's just the keywords Google Google is going to give you brownie points if you manage to make user-friendly articles. So that's all I tell everyone when they say, hey, we want user-friendly articles. But while doing this bit of research, I found that I'm using WordPress because most of the blogs that I wrote were WordPress. And one of my friend who was part of a writing community, she introduced me to this entire word camp. So she was a speaker at the time and they were looking for volunteers. So I'm like, okay, she was going to another city. So I'm from Mumbai, and this word camp was happening in Pune. It was 2015. So I just tagged along, and that was the first experience of the entire word camp. And it was so cool that I applied as a speaker next year. That's 2016.
That's wonderful. Wonderful.
So I was told, that there were there's not much content, and it was really word blogs is for writers, right? We write poems and stories and fictions and all those things. And how come there are not many writers? And we want more content people to be on the platform. And then I thought, okay, I have an idea. Let me just see if it works, because I was already part of a writing community at that time. So I wasn't part of WordPress community, writing community. And because she was a head, they knew about her because they were actively looking for people to handle those kind of topics. I'm like, okay, she can do it. Let me try. Yeah, that's how I got to know.
That's wonderful. That's exciting. I love that everybody's story of how they arrive at WordPress is different. So it's a wonderful thing. When you think about how people build their websites, what's something that you think they don't pay enough attention to that they should?
I think they should make it really user-friendly. And when I say that, they should know what tabs they want to click. Yeah. Sometimes those tabs are not really visible, and they kind of waste their time in a way that, okay, where is it? And we really have to value people's time. And even as a writer, I don't want people to, because for a writer, it's even important. If they're not hooked by 2-3 sentences, they're just going to leave. And if the website is like, okay, I'm already annoyed, I'm not finding where to go, it might not really help them to come back again, right? So in that way, it has to be people should know where it is. And that's why I think simplicity works. Just know all the controls are wherever they are. So.
Well, that's true. I agree. Yeah. One of the talks that I've given at camp before is called The Little Things That Make a Difference. And I talk about your menu. Your menu has to make sense, and people have to know what to click. So I agree with you 100%.
Yeah, it has to be, everything has to be accessible, right?
Absolutely. See, we're kindred spirits. When you think back over the different word camps that you've attended and meetups that you've gone to and things like that, what are some of the moments that were really, truly meaningful for you?
Okay. Meaningful. So the first time I did go there, so the event took place in a college. I went back to a college after a really long time. And that experience actually propelled me to, apply again. So I honestly don't think that I can pick one. Every one of them has something new to offer, because I would say that I have a bit of anxiety and I really look at all small things. so it will be very difficult for me. I find something new in each and every experience. Like for my first experience, that was first experience. My second experience with WordCamp was I was a speaker. Wow, I was a speaker. Now that's an awesome thing. Third, I picked up a topic on stories. So I also do writing, stories, and drawing. So the fact that I could do a talk on something that I really believe in passionately, and I had really engaging audience, that meant a lot. And last year, what did I do last year? Last year I did a totally professional one, which wasn't really personal, because till now it was always personal. I was totally professional. I did a bit on note making. Something the core was note making and how to use it with WordPress. So I think it will be, I'm sorry, it will be difficult to pick up one.
That's okay.
Experience.
That's okay. So will you be writing about your experience with me today?
Oh, yes. I mean, I do have a journal. This is my first podcast. This is my first podcast. Yes. And that's why I was so enthusiastic. Even the letters we shared, I was like, all exclamation marks.
I'm excited. I'm excited. So you'll have to share it with me so I can see
Yes,
what you write about.
I would love to.
So tell us a little bit more about how you work with your customers and how you decide what you're going to write about and how you how you write an article. Tell us a little bit about that.
All right, I'd love to. So I'm a writer. Writers are all cliched. They would love to talk about writing because they are like stuck in a corner, highly introvert. Mostly they are introvert. And yeah, so how do I write? I need to know what I'm writing about. And when it is work related, I have to really research on it. When I say research, thorough research, you really have to spend more time reading about it and then writing. So there is this like, how much percentage or investment of time should you spend of reading and writing? I would say read more and then write. So initially I used to write for brands. Now this was a lifestyle brand. And when we first got the project, I wasn't aware of what they're doing. So time spent in understanding what they want to deliver and how they're going to deliver meant that I had to spend days just researching like what they're doing, how they're doing, what are the values of the brand, what are they expecting to achieve from a blog or a write-up or a communication. And I couldn't deliver because I had no idea. So work-related research is very important, especially if we're working in a digital agency company. And my brand was lifestyle brand. I'm not sure I should be able to tell you, but it was a lifestyle brand, and everyone kind of experiences it once in a while. It was okay. What else I can do? It's like you have to go there. It was a place. I mean, that's okay. It was a place. So that meant that if I could go there and experience it, and that entire thing about how I felt, how the people are, delivering that experience to me, and how I'm using it in me, and how do I feel about it. I take all those things and then I come up with ideas. So writing is all about ideas. Trust me. Yes, grammar is important. It is very important. But you know what? Grammar can easily be achievable. It's logical. It's technical. You can get it. But ideas, you need to really work on them. It's a muscle. Creativity is a muscle, and you have to keep on practicing it and then come up. So yes, that was a bit. I do talk a lot.
It's okay. I love it.
So that was the bit about coming up with ideas and writing them for work. When it comes to personal writing, I relax. I just write whatever I want because I put in so much effort for my writing and my work that I don't want to do that kind of mental stress in my writing. So if you want to know what kind of writing I do, I write poems. I don't share them with everyone, so that's a very good thing. I don't shout, hey, look at me, I wrote a poem. I write flash fiction, which are very short, and there is a place where I keep them. So yeah, that's there. And what kind of stories I write? Basically thrillers. I like thrillers. Yeah.
Nice.
So I have a website only for stories. And yeah, that's what I do. So yeah, I don't stress when it comes to personal writing, not at all. Work related, because you have to be different, right? There's so many writers. How are you gonna make yourself different? Research like a crazy person.
Right, because when you talk about the ideas are really to evoke a feeling, right? So the person who's reading it has to relate to what you're writing about, and that has to evoke a feeling in order to compel them to do something and take action.
Exactly. That's what ideas are. And you don't want to waste people's time because time is so important right now. And when it comes to your professional work, you have to come to the point right away. And you can only do that if you have so much knowledge in it. And knowledge you can always get by reading and research. So yeah.
Especially when so many people are reading on their phones and there's a limited space, you can't take a long time to arrive at something that's going to make them want to continue reading.
True, true. And it's such a simple advice, but when you're really getting into that, okay, I want to write a blog on getting the best plastic for your product. It's so easy to come up, it's indulgent to write about, a little bit more info. Hey, I know that. I want to share. I know this. I want to say it, but no, it's great that you have it, but just come to the point. And what is the focus on the blog? What do you want the audience to know? Audience is very, very important. The reader basically is very important.
Exactly. And when you talk about writing for SEO, excuse me, when you talk about writing for SEO, what kinds of pointers or tips would you give to people?
Okay, so I give this example to all my talks. This is an example, imagine that you are an umbrella seller. Okay, imagine. So it's understood that there will be rain around, or it's a very sunny place. These are the two things. So Google really just wants you to write user-friendly articles because it's getting more AI, it wants to replicate human emotions and everything. And the best way would be that you write for the user in mind. At the same time, think what you're writing about and be really focused. So the only thing I can just easily taken at this point and not really go into it, because you can go into it, but one advice I would really give is keep your writing very focused and human. And when I say human, that means it should make sense whether the reader is you as a writer, whether the reader is you or someone like you, make sense to them. Like, would you find that work to be interesting or not? And then normal all the SEO best practices, but see to it that it makes sense. Because as I said, if it's raining, umbrella is a correlated term, it will come up, and Google is going to give a chance to you if that keyword is coming where it is coming. Because there are some apps that are going to pinpoint whether you use a similar keywords 100 times in a certain numbered articles, like 1500 article. If you're writing the word umbrella for like 100 words, you might just get get a blacklist or something like that.
Right. Right. So you don't want to use your keywords too many times.
You don't want to do that, because it's going to take away from the user experience, and it's not going to give a lot of delight to the reader, and Google might just penalize you. You never know, because they keep on changing their policies and how to go about it. It's not always possible for you to keep getting updated with them.
Right. But so if, like you're saying, if you use the word umbrella 100 times, the reader's going to go, I get it. It's about an umbrella. But if you use it, so you have to use it appropriately. So you don't not use it, but you don't overuse it. So yeah.
Right. The technology is getting sophisticated. That means it is going more human. It's better we stop acting like robots.
Because the robots are acting like us now. Oh, that makes a lot of sense, actually. What is the average length of a blog post now? How many words?
No, I don't want to do that. I really don't want to do that, because it should stick to the topic you're writing. Okay. And I'm not sorry, but I feel like saying it. It's a very bad question. No, it's not.
That's okay.
No, I get this a lot. What's the appropriate one? Because you know what? When I transitioned from a writer in a traditional magazine to the blogging world, I was told that no one reads a blog. I'm like, okay, I just got a job as a blogger, so there has to be a need. Is why I got a job. But then at that time, this was 3 years back, people said that no one reads it. But now, people are actually lapping up highly research-based long-form articles. And when I say long-form articles, it's more than 1,500 words. Okay, it's more than 1,500 words. They would say ideally it's 500. It should be 500, but you know what? Don't go for it. Be true to the topic you're writing. Okay. So if I'm going to write about my experience in going to a trek, it won't stay for 500 words. I'm telling you, it's my personal experience. It's not going to be 5. It's going to go 1,500. It might even go 5,000. Like I don't know. Okay. But if I'm writing a travel log for a company that wants to entice the reader to come and take a look, it could be 500 words.
Okay.
So it really, really depends on what you want to write, what is your aim, what is your focus, and how you want to deliver the message.
Okay. So the length is more important to the topic, not
Absolutely.
necessarily the number of words.
Also, like, what do you want to convey? Because, reading is an experience. If you look at it, like, I read a book, it's because I want to just laze around and do nothing. Or if I'm doing research, I don't want to read a 2,000 worded hotel who's telling me about stuff. I just want a 500 snapshot about what I can expect from that, hotel. So it really depends on your message, what you want to deliver, and how you want to deliver. So then the best practices comes again, do this and that, all those things. But you know what, I'm so sorry, there's so many things that you have to keep in mind when you do that, and your message and what you expect from the reader is very important before deciding on the word limit.
So it is a good question because we just got so much good information from you.
Just doing a lot of
just not the way I thought, that's all. So do you work for one company? Are you freelance and you work for lots of people, or?
Yeah. So I used to work for a lot of companies. Right now, I just finished a decade. So I'm on a sabbatical and I'm just writing for me mostly. If I really think that I should get some money, so I will do that. Right now, I'm not working. So I think everyone should take a year off after a decade. Because come on, it's a decade, and I think you need to do that. I mean, the world is not a great place, but the world is definitely fascinating, and you find small things. So I'm doing more of drawing, and on Saturday I'm gonna go and teach a bunch of kids how to draw. So yeah, I can do all these things.
That's wonderful.
It is.
I love that. That's wonderful.
Yeah,
sabbatical is a good idea. I don't think we do that enough in the United States.
Okay, okay.
No, I've worked for 30 years. I've never had a sabbatical.
Oh, you should take it if you can. Please consider it.
Yeah, I will have to think about that. I'm not sure that my company would like that, but I'll at least take a vacation. How's that?
Yes, please. There are many companies who actually provide that kind of facility as well. And I'm a writer, so I'm mostly like a, what do you call it? Just drifter wherever the company takes me. Okay, I got this. So there's something called Me Company, where you take all the skill sets and just go to other companies, and that's mostly the life of a writer, if you know anyone.
Like a nomad.
Nomad, yeah, kind of. It sounds very enticing and wonderful, but it's honestly not really.
Oh no, it's not as romantic as that word would sound, huh?
Because stability, okay, what's that? And I like stability. So,
sure.
but I think there are many companies are really opening up to this idea of sabbatical, and I've read about it, and that's one of the reasons that make me take this step. And you know what? I'm just thinking, what's the worst that could happen? Yes, you can do it. I keep telling myself this. What's the worst that can happen? It's fine. You can do it. You did for 10 years. You can do it. And it does. It does take a little bit of effort, but I think it's worth it.
Good for you. That's wonderful. And it's a good thing for self-health too, right? For mental health, for just everything, to experience the world. Yeah, that's wonderful. So I know we had talked about, one of my questions is always 2 or 3 plugins that you recommend. But but you're writing, you're not on the technical part. But do you use any SEO plugins? Are you paying attention when you're writing, or no?
Honestly, when I was working in my previous company, they were keen that I use Yoast plugin, because it really helps you with SEO. So if anyone wants to write heavily SEO related articles, that plugin is like a blessing.
Okay.
Because it shows you about the word length, it shows you about the stuff, how long you should go on. Okay, this is it, because it's actually an app. It is made, the aim of that app is to make really concise articles that is ready for the reader to just consume it. Apart from that, there is Grammarly. Grammarly is, I'm not sure that is an app that can be used, but I've not used it. I just use it for normal check. But I think Grammarly is good because it pinpoints it. And I don't think you have to go for the paid version also. Just try the free version. And it's I find it helpful. Another thing that is like a red flag for me recently, because I read that Grammarly stores all the things that you write. So that's one thing you might, so you need to like check on it, because I am very private in stuff that I don't want to share, and I've used it for a long time. But if it is like a letter or something which is like very formal, Grammarly is very good. It just polishes everything. So I think these are the two things. Oh yeah, another thing is Hemingway app.
Oh, yes.
Hemingway, yeah, it just shortens your longer sentence. But you know what? You want to know a good trick about writing great stuff that is very rhythmic in reading? Alternate between short sentences and very long sentences.
Oh,
Try
that's
it.
a good thing to know.
It's a very good thing to
Very
know.
good. Yeah.
It's good. So Hemingway actually gives you points on how long your sentences are. It actually penalizes you if you write longer sentence, which I am a little annoyed with, because I like longer sentences. But shorter sentences, it highlights your, you know what the best thing about Hemingway app is, that it highlights your tendency to write sentences, how long sentence you write. So once you're aware of it, you can actually change it. You can change the rhythm of your entire article. It's very helpful for the flow of your article. So yeah, that's
one of my coworkers uses it because she has a tendency to write in the passive voice too much. And Hemingway will help you. It'll show you that you're using passive voice too much and put into active voice.
True.
So
And
yeah.
I
So
think
if you're
passive.
Go ahead.
Sorry. It comes naturally to us, passive voice. We don't want to write active because it's so much us. It's just a psychology way. We don't want to put ourselves out there. That's why we use passive voice. So yeah.
Right. So, but it's good. But people want to read active voice more. It makes a stronger writing. So if you can learn to write an active voice, then it's better. So Hemingway can be helpful for that, because it helps you retrain the way you say things.
True.
I use Grammarly also. And one of the things that I enjoy about Yoast as well is they have the social part of it, so that you can put your, you can upload the image that will appear on Facebook and Twitter and things like that. And also the excerpt, so that you can control how that goes out on social, which is also very good.
Yeah.
When you started, either with WordPress or writing or any point along your journey, have you had a mentor that you looked up to and worked with?
So as a writer, I really want someone to guide me, because it can get lonely. And I worked in a publishing industry, and then all of a sudden everything was going digital. And though I had good people around, they were my bosses, and there were some things I couldn't actually share. So that's how I joined a writing community. So I really encourage anyone to join a writing community. And just write. I encourage everyone to write and join a writing community, because it really helps polish your stuff. Because when you write something very personal, you are blinded by what you've written. You might feel that, oh, it's terrible, oh, it's wonderful. So it's very biased. It won't be objective. And you need objective feedback to improve your writing. And why I say it's very important to improve your writing, no matter the profession. Everyone should be a writer, because it really clears up a lot of things inside you. And that's why journaling is a very underrated productive hack. I mean, there are different ways of journaling. I should do something on that. I did something similar in my last year also. But yeah, coming back to the mentors, I really wanted some kind of a mentor or polish my writing, because I was only oriented more towards professional writing, which was more about business stuff and technical, and just persuade someone to buy a product. So I joined a writing community, and it improved my writing I would say in a short time. But it wasn't really short time, because I never thought that I could write in a way. Even if you're not able to improve it, you're gonna hear different voices. And I think that's very important for your writing, listening to different voices. And for me, again, this was a very special moment, is because how I got to know about word camps. So
yeah,
that's how I actually, and you know what, you're going to meet a lot of people who are like you, because writing really connects you in ways you might not know, because we all are same actually. Like, we go through similar emotions and everything, and writing is so crystallized emotions. It's like, so it's all about, like, when you write a poem or a story or something that is very close to you, you'll find there's some kind of connection. There's some similar thing going on. It feels like, oh, I know, some writing just like works through. Oh, I know what you're talking about. Like, why? Because we all are same. And
It's
the most,
connection.
it is connection. And that's why I think a mentor can be very, very beneficial. So I used this writing community for improving my personal writing because I wanted to do journaling better. When it comes to professional, I think the best way is to get someone is through LinkedIn. I really use it a lot. I use
Oh,
it
good.
and the best thing they have done is recently they started something called mentorship thing, where you can connect with people who are doing good in your in your industry. So you can just ask them that, hey, I have this question, can you help? They will be like industry gurus or somewhere. So I did manage to meet someone and ask for like how to help, and I found it really interesting. And if you're really genuine and know how to ask a question, which is very important, you need to know how to ask the question, I think you'll be able to meet a workplace mentor also. And the best thing is, don't just go to your company, go to some adjacent company,
Yeah.
not a competitor, but it can really give you proper insight in your career.
That's wonderful. Is there anybody in the WordPress community, or who is somebody in the WordPress community that you admire, and why?
Meher Bala. So I think she knows that. I keep telling her that. She has recently started Indian WordPress women community that is to encourage more women to come up and volunteer and speak. And I think that's fabulous, because we do need more women to come ahead in this technical conferences. And I think she's like a solid support. You can count on her. And that's really, really important. She's a very good friend of mine also. So yeah, I would say Meher Bala.
That's wonderful. I love that. What's something that you don't know how to do with WordPress that you might like to learn?
Oh, okay. Again, as I said, I'm not really a technical person. And in this day and age, you need to know a bit of coding. So I think a little bit of coding would be nice. I think I should learn, because all my, like in WordPress, I see everyone when they're talking about stuff, and I really want to, so yeah, a bit of coding would be nice.
I understand. I don't do a lot of coding myself, but I'd like to learn PHP, maybe some JavaScript. So we'll see. What's one of the biggest mistakes that you might have made with WordPress or writing, and what did you learn from it?
Mistake. Okay. So I don't think how this answers your question, but as a writer, now in digital world, it translates into how many times your article is read. Okay, which is a little sad, but that is the way we are. And I think there have been times where my article was supposed to deliver and it didn't deliver, and there were times where I didn't actually know what to do. And when that happens, you're in a very tricky spot, because you have done your research, you got the confirmation from the client. Because before writing a blog, what you do is you give them a kind of a pitch, because you tell them, I'm going to write on ABC, okay, and they approve it, and your idea is approved from all levels, and you do research and it doesn't work. So when that happens, it's your ass that they're going to write. It's terrible. So I would really need to be more assertive, and I think everyone needs to be that, and be okay by making mistakes. So my mistake was not being able to take a stand properly, that okay, it didn't work out, it is fine. This industry is very dynamic, it's going to keep on changing, and you only learn by mistakes. So I have heard a lot of things. I wish I stood up for myself a lot more. And I think I say this for a lot of people, because I do keep my ears on what's happening in the industry, and I'm not alone. And I think we really need to stand up for ourselves more so.
That's good. That's really good. What's your proudest WordPress moment?
Yeah, when I became a speaker first time, I think absolutely, I never thought that I could justify that platform, because I have a terrible stage fright. and terrible, terrible stage fright. And I thought that I could actually speak, and not only just speak, have an engaging audience. And WordPress community is a very inclusive community, which is the best thing. Though we do need more women. I know women are shy or women are not encouraged much. And I would really want more women to come and experience what I experience what women in the community are experiencing. So I think it has to be the first time, because that feeling of, having people ask questions and me not fumbling, because look at me, I just go all over the place and I do fumble, but I didn't fumble while question answer, because knowledge is important. You need to know what you're talking about. So when I answered question, which was the best part after my presentation for the first WordCamp, the question answer, it was the best part of the entire thing, and people were really receptive, and I think that was the best moment I want to share.
That's wonderful. I had the honor of delivering the keynote speech at a WordCamp this past weekend, and for me that was magical. So exactly. I understand. Yeah. If you weren't a writer, what would you want to try as a career?
I'm pretty forgetful person. It's coming from someone who is supposed to be a reader. I always found the job of a waiter very demanding. I don't know if I'll be able to remember orders and names, and I really salute to those people because they hardly mess up. So yeah, I mean, I would love that. So that's one. I love to be a teacher. I like to talk. I like to teach stuff, and I think I'm okay with it because I'm gonna teach drawing, which is so amazing, right? I mean, I'm a drawing teacher, so
that's exciting.
That is exciting. You're just gonna have these small kids who's just gonna do this, and they're gonna have these. And children are very great with compliments, by the way. I'm just telling you. If they like you, they're gonna make your while amazing. So yes. That's it. So I would say a waiter or a teacher.
Wonderful. I love it. What's something on your bucket list?
I would love to travel away from my country, like solo travel. Not in my country. In my country, I'm doing that. But I would love to afford a solo travel in any European or even Asian, Japan. I mean, I do have a lot of countries that I would love to. And for that, I can't do it right now because of sabbatical money. But I have some countries which I would love to travel solo.
That's wonderful. Yeah, travel is good. I've never been outside of the United States except for North America. So I agree. It would be wonderful to come to India or Europe and experience things. Yes. Yeah.
We come for a WordCamp. It will be amazing.
It would be amazing. Someday I'll be there. I promise.
Yeah. Great.
And my last question is to show us or tell us about one of your hidden talents.
Show us or tell us. I don't know. How can I show it? Can I show it? Wait. So I draw. I think that's not a hidden talent anymore, right? Mm-hmm.
That's okay. You can tell us about your drawing.
So I do these very intricate drawings which are free-flowing that help me calm down because I'm very uppity and anxious. So I just opened my Instagram. I'm not sure if you guys can see it. See if it can. Can you see?
Yes.
No. Can you?
Yes. Uh-huh.
So this is the cat. I love cats. So I recently drew this. Maybe open. Yeah. So this is the library cat. The library cat wants you to read more. Okay.
I like it.
Ginger cat. And I made this. This was inspired by Tinkerbell, and I just love doing these very intricate designs. And,
it's a fairy. She's a fairy.
Yeah, it is. And I like drawing skulls and just go freehand with however they go.
Oh yeah, that's the Gothic part of you.
So yeah, I draw when I have time, and I write poems. But I find drawing much better because writing can get exhausting. I wouldn't say time exhausting.
Well, and it's your job too, so it's good to have something that's not your job. So have you heard the type of drawings that you do there? We call them Zentangles.
I know.
And that's what you and I have in common as well.
Oh,
is yeah. I do that too. Yeah. I'll show you my picture. Tell me one or two more things about you that would be interesting while I find my drawings.
Okay.
So let's see here. So I like to do mandalas. So you can see that.
Wow, and it's not very bright, I think.
No, I know. I think it's, there we go.
Oh yeah, I got it. Oh wow, these are very intricate.
Yeah.
Amazing. You do them digitally or do you use a
No,
pen?
it's pen and ink on paper. Yeah.
Wow. So what kind of pens do you use?
I
Is it
usually
my
just use a black Sharpie. I
Okay,
use,
okay.
yeah, a thin Sharpie, or sometimes I use just like specific pens for Zentangle. I can't think the different widths and things.
Oh, okay,
So,
okay. If you can start doing that, it'll be great because I started using 0.8 and 0.2 and it really
yeah.
but then I go for like entirely free flowing and Zentangle is like a proper thing, so I can understand. Wow, that's great.
Yeah.
I mean, we have something in common.
Yeah, so I love that. That's great. So we live so far away and this is our first time talking and we have things in common, which is wonderful. And that's what's wonderful about the WordPress community too, right? Is we have so many things in common and it isn't always WordPress.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
True.
And I said, when I asked you, I'm reading my other screen, I said, if you could describe the WordPress community in just a few words, you said it's a very inclusive community and I found the members to be very much interested in personal development and growth. And I find that to be true as well. So it's, I love how embracing it is. And every WordCamp I go to, if I don't know any single person, I leave having friends.
Absolutely. Same.
So it's wonderful. Is there anything else you'd like to share with us before we sign off for today?
I would say keep reading more, keep writing more, and I think write letters to people you like, because it's a wonderful personalized way to connect. Write letters. Yeah.
I like that. That's very good. Well, maybe I'll write you a letter later.
I would love that. I love read. I do that. I have some specific pen pals who are like all around, and it's amazing whenever they write to me. So yeah, I would love that. I could be your pen pal.
We could do that. I love that. I love that. Yeah. Well, all of your information. Oh, tell us where people can find you online. Tell us your blog, your social media.
So my blog, I'm not very imaginative. So my blog name is Fairy Dharawat blog. So just write my name and my blog will pop up. On Twitter, I am Fairy Dharawat. I mean, you should easily find me. My handle name is 30 going on 80 because I feel tired always.
I wondered about that, but we'll also put all of your links in the post that we put up with this interview.
Sure.
So
yeah.
everything will be there. So very good. Cool. Well, thank you so much for being on the show today. I really appreciated getting to know you, and sharing all of your knowledge about writing is wonderful.
Yes, thank you for having me. I was so excited for this, and yeah, the entire since yesterday to today, all the excitement. Oh, am I doing this right? Am I doing this right? It was a journey, but I'm so glad.
Me too. Me too.
I'm so glad. Thank you.
All right, so say goodbye to your adoring fans. Bye.